Hello, my name is Sunita. I've travelled from Switzerland, but I am originally from England, if you can tell by the accent. I've come to the retreat here because since I had COVID, I have not been vaccinated, but since I had COVID, chronic joint pain, and if I do anything I get tendonitis, which can last weeks. And I'm a guitarist and quite a manual person, so it's really frustrating. As soon as I do something to do anything, I'm aching. And when I had COVID, my joints would vibrate as if I had a vibrator on them. It was buzzing all the time, non-stop, and it was very uncomfortable. And I've come here to basically renew, regenerate and heal, and give my joints a new lease of life. As I mentioned earlier, I've lived quite a clean life. I've never taken medications. I don't take painkillers. I don't take antibiotics. I've always been in the domain of the body knows how to heal itself. I've been water fasting since I was in my 20s, and fruit diets and detoxes were my obsession when I was a youngster. So I've always been on this pathway, and then you get to a point where you need to do something more, and when I understand the physiology and the science behind dry fasting, it just makes sense. Day 2 of the retreat, day 3 of my dry fast. So I'm challenged with symptoms of long COVID. Up until I had COVID, I had a relatively clean life, no medication, no antibiotics, I don't drink, I don't smoke, feeling healthy, feeling strong. And then I had COVID, and during the infection I had incredible joint pain all over, especially in my wrists and elbows. And when I was quiet at night, my wrists and elbows would vibrate like crazy, and it was very disturbing. But once I got up in the morning and got on with my day, it would stop. But once the infection had passed, the vibration continued for a couple of years, and anything that taxed my joints, repetitive movements like playing a guitar, cleaning, mopping, anything, would cause pain and then tendonitis, which means I would be unable to do much of anything as much as I would like. I'd have to do things in very short amounts. I'm also, since I happened COVID, have allergies that have got worse, such as my reaction to perfume, scented candles, anything artificially perfumed, and even essential oils. And the symptoms are quite strong, with headaches, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, which can be quite a challenge when I'm in public places and women are wearing very strong, heavy perfume. I have big motivation to get rid of that, because it's upsetting, especially you go out, you have your makeup on, you look nice, you look great, and then somebody is in a room with you with perfume, and it's like having instant flu. It's very uncomfortable. What else? Somebody asked me the question about whether coming here first and starting your dry fast is better than starting your dry fast at home. The only person that can answer that question is you yourself, because when you've done your preparation, you've already done dry fast. if you know already that your first day is easy, then you can travel doing your dry fast and be ready for the next day. If you know that the second day or the third day for you is the worst day, then you're not going to choose that day to be on your traveling day. So you'll take your own experience with your fasting at home. Whichever day was your easiest day in the beginning of those early dry fasts, you pick that to be the day that you travel on and continue with your dry fast from there. Day 3 at the retreat, day 4 of my dry fast, and some good changes. Yesterday I had a saline injection treatment, and just a few hours after, along my back, and just a few hours after, I already felt my back was released. I'm very pleased about that. I have had many injuries falling on my back, so my back is damaged, and I'm very happy to have that tension released. This morning I did yoga, and I had a big emotional release. I had many flashbacks of all the times in my whole life that I fell on my back on the same position, and culminated in me crying whilst doing yoga. I tried not to get wet, but it was inevitable. And then today, 2 o'clock, another treatment, deep massage, and again it was painful, but the kind of pain that feels good. And I'm very happy to receive these treatments. Even without fasting, these treatments on their own are so valuable, and I'm very happy to be here. I am on day 4 of the retreat, day 5 of my dry fast, and I've already had some noticeable improvements. One of the problems I have is very bad reactions to strong perfumey smells, perfume, washing powder, softener, scented candles, even essential oils. And I was exposed to somebody that had perfume on today. Normally I would get headache, sore throat, red face, and quite bad, maybe even sometimes even stomach ache and cramps. And I was able to enjoy the nice smell. I was quite taken back. And second again, I went for a walk outside, and the first time I walked past a specific area, there was this kind of odor, like paint fumes, or I don't know what it was exactly, but I had to really cover my face because the smell was already making my throat hurt and my head feel funny. And I redid the walk again today, and I was able to just smell it, not like it, but walk past without any reaction whatsoever. So there's already something happening in my body, some change, which is very promising. The next thing to talk about is my family. So my husband and I are the weirdos of the family because we're all into fasting, dry fasting, and all kinds of weird and wonderful things. We have a practice, so we do weird and wonderful things. The rest of my family, I told them I was going on a healing / fat camp because I'm going to lose weight, so it would look really successful. Because I actually did tell I have 2 sisters. I told one of them I'm going to do fasting, and with the idea she would know water fasting, and she went, "Are you dry fasting?" And I went, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "But don't tell the others," because they would just worry, and I really wasn't ready for a barrage of questions and to be told I'm crazy. But I will tell them everything after, and they will still tell me I'm crazy. Day 6 of my dry fast, day 5 of the retreat. I'm hoping I look a bit thinner because I had some to get rid of. It's not my primary motivation, but it's a very nice after effect for me. I think in the 5 days of being here, I probably lost 5 kilos, and I'm happy about that. My preparation before I came here was liver cleanse. I think these are good things to do. They put your attention on taking responsibility for your body. You don't just turn up to the retreat and put your health in someone else's hands. Right from the beginning, you're taking responsibility for your body, and I think that's a good thing. Day 7 of the retreat, day 8 of my dry fast, and this is when we start getting into the difficult territory. So my heart rate has gone up today to 149, which normally you would have to stop for safety reasons, but it's not a healing crisis, so I've got this far and I obviously don't want to stop. I had my treatment at 2 o'clock and it already went down to 137, and the treatments here are in a class of their own. Excellent treatment. The techniques of the massage are exact and precise and not just wasting time away for something to do. Very good academy in these massages and the bee stings and everything else. If you do decide to do a long dry fast, it's 9 days out of your life if you manage to get that far. 9 days out of your life, which are difficult. You have to be mentally strong to do it. And it's more mental than physical, actually. It's the thoughts of wanting to drink. Not so much eat, but just obviously have a drink. And I'm thinking about Filonov telling a story about a woman who got quite far in her fast and she wanted to drink. And he offered her a glass of water and he said, you can either carry on, or gave her the water and said, drink or die. And it's really the choice that you're making for your own life. You have to come here with the attitude knowing this is going to be a really difficult task. But don't lose sight of your goal, because 9 days out of 30, 40, 50 possible years you have in the future, how do you want to live those years? In good health or sick? And for the sake of just a few days of discomfort, it's really worth going through. And I highly recommend that if you want to embark on such a healing task as this, that you need to come to Montenegro or a similar retreat like this, where you're taken care of, that everybody here is taking care of you. If they don't see you for a while, they send you a text message, are you okay? Everybody is on the ball, and my orders right now are to take a rest and come back at 6, because I don't want to stop. If I stop now, I've got on day 8, but I haven't gone past that hump that I need to get over for complete healing, and it's a shame to stop it. Maybe somebody else would be really happy to say, oh yeah, I have high blood pressure now, I have a high pulse, so now I can have a good reason to stop. I'm fighting now. I should say, not fighting's a stress word, but I'm aiming now to be more zen, get my heart rate down, because the bells are ringing. It's okay. I'm not leaving here until I've had my healing crisis. I owe it to myself. Day 8 of the retreat and day 9 of my dry fast. Thankfully, day 9 of my dry fast, because yesterday Dr Filonov told me that I would have to exit today because my heart rate was too high. Above 120 and you're supposed to stop. Mine was 149. But I told him no. I got this far, I was gonna go, and they couldn't measure my blood pressure and everything properly because I was just so cold. But despite being freezing cold on the exterior, I was still searching for cold to refresh me in the bed, and I really just got over cold, and basically like my heart was trying desperately to pump my treacle blood through, and it just couldn't. So I chucked out all the ice from my ice pack and filled it with boiling water, and then bathed myself in it and went under the covers. And then I asked one of the practitioners who are doing the treatments on us, I said, take it again. And it went down to 110, and I was really happy. And I said, in the morning, if I come to you and my my pulse is back down, can I carry on fasting? And they said yes. So I carried on fasting today. And I just want to explain that when you get to knocking on the door 8 and door 9 is just one day away, and it's like the magic number, you know. Whether you feel a healing crisis or you don't feel a healing crisis, you can pretty much bank on, if you go through the day 9, you've made it, you've done something amazing for your body, whether you feel a super healing crisis or not. And I did not want to go away from here without my day 9, so I didn't go for walks. I just kept real quiet, stayed in my bed, kept myself warm, and I'm still here, day 9. And I'm so proud of myself for this, because I think anywhere else but here I would have quit. I would have stopped. It would have been too easy to say, oh, 6 days, wow, I'm so amazing. But I don't know, but I feel like I've done this. I can do anything. If I can do this, I feel like Superwoman when I get back home. Oh, there isn't anything that's going to be a challenge to me ever again. And I'm really appreciative of that, actually. I needed that. 9th day at the retreat, and also my day 1 of exit. I broke my fast this morning, and I never knew how good it felt to feel so tired. It was fantastic. As soon as you drink that water, your body's like, right, yeah, you're done. Now I let you sleep. That's the best part about breaking the fast. There were a couple of things I wanted to mention the other day which I forgot. I'm going to say it now. One of the reasons I came here is because I had long COVID. I had COVID about 5 times in a short space of time as well, but I had long COVID from the very first infection, and it deeply affected my joints, especially my wrists and elbows, which is not very helpful when you're a guitarist, and so it's very hard. I would still play, but to learn a song I'd play one chord and then I couldn't play the next one. It was just very, very hard. And the last 3 days now, I've been able to fully extend my arms. My elbows can go straight, whereas before they would stop here and I would have to physically force it straight to get some stretch to avoid it getting too contracted. But now, for the moment, my extension is perfect. One of the other reasons I was here because I was developing more and more allergies, especially to things like perfume and scented candles. And something really nice that was nice for me is I needed a blanket in the treatment room, and someone just grabbed a blanket and put it on me, and it smelled like perfume, and I was able to just smell it and go, oh, that smells nice. For the first time in maybe 20 years, if somebody would put that normally on me, I would be making a big fuss about it because it would give me a headache, a sore throat, and all kinds of wonderful things. So the main healing comes after the dry fast, within the 2 months after. but I'm already excuse me, I'm already seeing the benefit of this really hard work, and it is really hard work. You have to really want it. It's a challenge. The challenge is more psychological on the end of days, because you just fantasize all day long about all the juicy drinks, all the fruits, all the water. It's just, well, it was for me anyway. And I mean, it's just this first day out of the fasting. I'm still thirsty, I'm still tired, but it's not the same. I don't know what else to say actually, but I'm very proud of myself. And maybe I'll be back again, see what other wonderful things I can do for myself. Who wants to torture? But there we go. It's day 10 of the retreat and day 2 of my exit. I think it's really important to just mention this. When you exit, in the maybe it's a misconception I had. You drink your water and then you're just back to how you were before, but that's not what happens, because after days of insomnia, when you finally drink water, you go into like a deep sleep state. I was in a coma-like state for at least 24 hours yesterday, and it takes time to get back into the state that you were before. I think it's important when you're planning to come that you're not going to do this and then back to work on Monday like nothing changed. It's not a good thing to do. It's not going to happen. You won't have the energy. The other thing is it feels really like everyone's coming here for mostly physical problems. But I really, this morning, really was deeply feeling that I think this is also an incredible cure for mental illness, or people with addictions especially, or I don't know, OCD or this. I feel it resets everything. Most of the motivation is physical, but I think if you're somebody that's dealing with emotional problems, mental emotional problems for years, I think this is definitely a solution that you should consider as well, not just for physical. So as you go along your healing journey from A to B, from B to C, for example, as you've accumulated injuries or symptoms in your life, for example, you had eczema when you were 5, and asthma when you were 10, and then a car accident when you were 15. The Herring's law is a law where the body will heal mostly in reverse order, or in the order it believes is most important to heal. So when you come here, like I've come here, I hurt my shoulder about 10 years ago. Quite a big injury that took 9 months to heal, and it never completely healed. The body relives the trauma, whether it's illness or a blunt trauma, and you start to re-feel the same symptoms. And what I wanted to share is that if you come here and you do your dry fast and you start experiencing things that you haven't had for years, that's a really good sign. Your body is reversing, rewinding, going backwards. So for example, if you always had asthma and your asthma goes away and then you get symptoms of eczema, which is something more superficial, that's a good sign that something's going backwards. It's coming out to the surface. And it's just a way to explain that not to be scared of physical pain when you do the dry fast. It's a sign that your body is actually rewinding the process and repairing what was once done. And me personally, every time I got an ache or pain somewhere that I hadn't felt in years, I was ecstatically happy because I knew my body was rewinding and relieving and releasing this problem.